Stand up right now if you're able to do so. Go ahead and give it a try. Just take a short moment to really focus on what's happening inside your body, even though you were seated just a second ago. Your heart maintains its steady, dependable rhythm without any conscious direction from you. Your blood keeps circulating smoothly through your veins and arteries, quietly performing all their essential functions completely on autopilot. Yet there is something profoundly important that the vast majority of people never pause to consider. After the age of 55, your arteries are no longer as robust, elastic, or supple as they were during your younger years. Far too many individuals cling to the mistaken notion that clogged arteries appear suddenly and without warning. One perfectly ordinary day, you feel completely fine, and then, out of nowhere, a heart attack or stroke strikes with no prior indication. But the reality is entirely different. Clogged arteries do not form overnight. They develop extremely gradually, silently, and over the course of many decades. There are no loud warning signals, no sudden stabbing pains to catch your attention, no unmistakable red flags screaming that danger is near. Until one day a serious crisis erupts. It might manifest as a heart attack, it might be a stroke, or your physician might look at your latest test results and quietly say, I really wish we had detected this much sooner. I'm Doctor, and over many years, I have devoted my professional efforts to helping older adults just like you preserve strong, vibrant hearts using gentle, natural methods that minimize heavy reliance on powerful prescription medications or invasive surgical procedures. Now imagine this. What if I told you that a single remarkably uncomplicated meal, not an expensive supplement, not a surgical intervention, has been clearly demonstrated by robust scientific research to begin helping your body defend and nurture your arteries, starting with your very next bite? Importantly, this is not about enforcing a rigid, joyless diet that eliminates all the foods you love. It remains budget friendly, straightforward to implement, and you absolutely do not need to abandon the dishes that bring you pleasure and satisfaction. I kindly ask you to stay with me through this entire message. By the time we finish, you will have a clear understanding of exactly what to include in your meals, the precise scientific mechanisms behind why these choices deliver such strong protective effects for your cardiovascular system, and crucially, how to put them into practice in a safe and sustainable way, particularly if you are over the age of 60. Before we go any further, let me address and correct one very common misconception that misleads so many well intentioned people. When the average person hears the phrase clogged arteries, their mind usually jumps to an image of household plumbing pipes, completely obstructed with thick grease and accumulated debris. While that analogy captures part of the problem, it only tells a fraction of the full story. The true origin of the trouble lies in chronic inflammation occurring within the walls of the arteries themselves. This low-level, persistent inflammation slowly erodes and injures the sensitive inner lining of your arteries across many years. Once that vital lining, known as the endothelium, becomes damaged or chronically irritated, cholesterol particles begin to adhere to those compromised areas. Over the passing decades, calcium gradually deposits on top of the cholesterol buildup, and slowly the arteries become increasingly rigid, constricted, and less capable of allowing unrestricted blood flow. Medical professionals refer to this entire gradual progression as atherosclerosis. Because it advances so stealthily over such a long period, countless individuals continue feeling entirely normal until the damage has reached an advanced and often critical stage. Here is the single most vital takeaway I want you to carry with you today. Your body actually possesses a built-in natural ability to resist and counteract this accumulating damage. You truly can slow its progression to a very significant degree. In certain cases, it is even possible to help reverse some of the existing harm, but this only becomes realistic when you deliberately stop feeding the very inflammation that fuels the entire process in the first place. And that brings us directly to the one simple, highly effective meal I mentioned earlier. Before we move forward, I would genuinely appreciate it if you would take just a second right now to drop a quick comment below with only your age. It truly encourages me to see who is joining in and actively pursuing improved heart health at this moment. Let me guide you step by step through the actual physiological changes occurring inside your body, shifts that surprisingly few people ever discuss in plain, straightforward language. As you enter your 60s, 70s, and even later decades, four primary changes take place that have a direct and profound impact on the condition and performance of your arteries. The first is the ongoing presence of chronic inflammation within the artery walls. Imagine your arteries as an ordinary garden hose used for watering plants. When the interior remains perfectly smooth and free of debris, water, or in this case blood, flows through with minimal resistance and great efficiency. Persistent inflammation, however, roughens and irritates that inner surface, much like moss, algae, or gradual buildup coating the hose interior and creating drag and turbulence that hampers smooth flow. In medical terminology, this critical inner surface is called the endothelium. When inflammation compromises it, cholesterol molecules and calcium deposits find it much easier to latch on and accumulate, eventually forming plaque. A major, well-regarded study from Harvard University followed over 5,000 adults for a full 15-year period. The results were unmistakable. Higher levels of inflammation markers proved to be a more reliable predictor of future plaque formation and expansion than elevated cholesterol readings by themselves. I understand that this might come as a surprise or even raise some questions. For years, most of us have been told to follow low-fat diets, start taking statin medications, or completely avoid red meat. Those approaches do have their appropriate place in certain situations, but they frequently fail to address the genuine primary driver, inflammation, at its root. Let me expand further on this inflammation aspect because it is so crucial and so often overlooked. Chronic inflammation is not like the sudden swelling you experience from a cut or injury. It is a slow-burning process that simmers quietly in the background. It can be triggered by various factors, including poor dietary choices, chronic stress, lack of physical activity, and even environmental toxins. Over time, this inflammation signals the body to dispatch more cholesterol to the affected site as part of a misguided repair mechanism, but instead of helping, it contributes to dangerous buildup. That is precisely why focusing solely on cholesterol reduction without tackling inflammation is like treating the symptoms while ignoring the underlying disease. Many patients I have worked with arrive confused, wondering why their cholesterol-lowering medications are not preventing further progression. The answer lies in this deeper layer of understanding. To illustrate, consider how everyday choices accumulate. A diet heavy in processed foods may not cause immediate discomfort, but it steadily fans the flames of inflammation, leading to long-term vascular damage. By shifting toward anti-inflammatory foods, we can effectively douse those flames. This shift does not have to be drastic. Even modest adjustments, such as replacing processed snacks with fresh fruit, can begin producing a noticeable difference over time. It is about consistency rather than perfection, allowing your body to heal gradually from the inside out. To make this even clearer, think about inflammation as a quiet fire smoldering in your arteries. Every poor meal choice adds a little more fuel to that fire, while healthy choices help put it out. Over the years, I've seen patients transform their health by making these small, steady changes. They report feeling more energetic, sleeping better, and even noticing improvements in their blood work. It's empowering to know that you have control over this process through simple daily decisions. Remember, inflammation doesn't announce itself loudly, it builds silently, but so does the healing when you start addressing it properly. Let me add that chronic inflammation can also stem from other lifestyle factors beyond diet. For instance, ongoing stress from work or personal life can elevate cortisol levels, which in turn promotes inflammation. Incorporating relaxation techniques like deep breathing or meditation can complement dietary changes, creating a more comprehensive approach to reducing this silent threat. In my practice, patients who combine anti-inflammatory eating with stress management often see faster and more sustained improvements in their overall well-being. Expanding a bit more on this, it's worth noting that inflammation can be measured through simple blood tests, such as C-reactive protein, CRP levels, which many doctors can check during routine visits. If your levels are elevated, it's a sign to take action. But even without testing, adopting an anti-inflammatory lifestyle can preemptively lower risks. Foods like turmeric, ginger, and green tea have natural compounds that help calm inflammation, and integrating them into meals is easy and flavorful. For example, adding turmeric to soups or ginger to teas can become enjoyable habits that support your arteries without much extra effort. Patients often share how these additions not only benefit their hearts, but also ease joint discomfort or improve digestion, showing the interconnected nature of body systems. Consistency in these practices builds a foundation of resilience, helping you maintain vitality as you age. To further illustrate the point, consider how small daily habits compound over time. Starting with 1 cup of green tea in the morning or sprinkling turmeric on eggs can seem minor, but over months, these actions reduce inflammatory markers noticeably. I encourage patients to experiment with flavors, making the process fun rather than obligatory, which boosts long-term adherence and overall satisfaction with the changes. The second key change involves oxidative stress, coupled with the serious threat posed by unstable plaque. This deserves special attention because plaque is far from uniform. Certain plaques are soft, vulnerable, and highly unstable. Picture a thin layer of ice frozen over a winter pond. From a distance, it appears solid and safe, yet the slightest additional weight or pressure can cause it to fracture and collapse abruptly. Unstable plaque behaves in much the same way. It can suddenly rupture without any prior notice, triggering a heart attack or stroke in an instant. Oxidative stress, which is essentially damage at the cellular level caused by reactive free radical molecules, weakens the protective fibrous cap that covers plaque buildup, dramatically increasing the likelihood of rupture. A study conducted by researchers at Johns Hopkins University tracked roughly 2,400 older individuals and uncovered a compelling finding. Those who maintained higher levels of protective antioxidants in their bodies experienced a striking 52% lower risk of plaque rupture. Expanding on oxidative stress, it's like rust forming on metal over time due to exposure to air and moisture. In your body, free radicals are the culprits, and they come from things like pollution, smoking, or even normal metabolism. But your body has natural defenses, antioxidants, that neutralize these threats. Foods rich in vitamins C and E, like berries, nuts, and greens, boost these defenses. In my practice, patients who increase their antioxidant intake often see better overall vitality, not just in heart health, but in skin appearance and immune function too. It's a holistic benefit that comes from nature's own pharmacy. Furthermore, oxidative stress can be exacerbated by poor sleep or excessive alcohol consumption. So, addressing those habits alongside diet can amplify the protective effects. Simple additions like a handful of berries in your morning yogurt or a side of nuts with lunch can start building up these defenses without much effort. To build on this, getting enough sleep, aiming for 7-8 hours nightly, helps repair oxidative damage, while moderating alcohol to 1 drink per day or less prevents additional stress on cells. Patients who make these tweaks often report sharper focus and fewer illnesses, underscoring how interconnected these factors are. To delve deeper, antioxidants work by donating electrons to free radicals, stabilizing them and preventing cellular damage. Berries such as blueberries and strawberries are particularly potent due to their high anthocyanin content, which also supports brain health. Nuts like almonds and walnuts provide vitamin E, which protects cell membranes. Incorporating these into snacks or meals is straightforward and delicious. Many patients find that after a few weeks, they crave these healthier options more as their taste buds adjust and energy levels rise. Reducing sources of oxidative stress, like limiting fried foods or quitting smoking, further enhances these benefits, creating a compounded effect on artery stability and overall longevity. In addition, regular exposure to sunlight for vitamin D synthesis can aid antioxidant activity, but always with sunscreen to avoid skin damage. Walking outdoors combines exercise with this benefit, making it a dual-purpose habit that's easy to adopt. The third change centers on reduced production of nitric oxide, a molecule essential for keeping arteries flexible and dilated. Nitric oxide acts like a natural lubricant, ensuring blood vessels relax and expand as needed. As we age, our bodies produce less of it, leading to stiffer arteries and higher blood pressure. This stiffness forces the heart to work harder, increasing wear and tear over time. Studies from the Mayo Clinic have shown that boosting nitric oxide through diet can improve arterial elasticity by up to 25% in seniors. Foods high in nitrates, like leafy greens and beets, are key here, as the body converts them into nitric oxide. Simple inclusions like a beet salad or spinach smoothie can make a difference. Patients often notice lower blood pressure readings after consistent intake, reducing the strain on their hearts. To expand, nitric oxide also improves blood flow to organs, enhancing cognitive function and exercise tolerance. Combining nitrate-rich foods with light activity, like yoga, maximizes these effects, promoting a virtuous cycle of better circulation and vitality. Fourth, include nuts and seeds as daily staples. Almonds, walnuts, chia seeds, and flax seeds provide healthy fats, fiber, and anti-inflammatory compounds that support stable blood sugar and reduce oxidative damage. A meta-analysis in the British Medical Journal linked a handful of nuts daily to a 28% reduction in cardiovascular mortality. Nuts also offer magnesium for muscle relaxation, aiding sleep and stress reduction. Toasting them lightly enhances flavor without extra calories. Finally, include fatty fish such as salmon, sardines, mackerel, or anchovies at least twice per week. These provide valuable omega-3 fatty acids that strongly reduce inflammation, enhance nitric oxide production and availability, and help prevent excessive platelet clumping that can lead to clots. Research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition reported that regular omega-3 consumption resulted in an impressive 38% improvement in arterial flexibility after only 12 weeks. If fresh fish is not to your taste or is difficult to obtain, a high-quality fish oil supplement can serve as a reasonable alternative, but please consult your doctor first, especially if you are taking any blood-thinning medications. If you have kidney problems or follow a potassium-restricted diet, check with your healthcare provider before significantly increasing your intake of leafy greens. Omega-3 fatty acids like EPA and DHA compete with pro-inflammatory omega-6 fats, naturally thin the blood to reduce clot risk, and support overall vascular health. You can grill, bake, or enjoy them canned for convenience. Whole food sources generally provide superior benefits compared to supplements alone because they deliver additional nutrients. Always prioritize safety by discussing changes with your physician, particularly if you take medications that could interact. Simple recipes such as baked salmon with fresh herbs, sardine salads, or mackerel patties make incorporation seamless and delicious. Pairing fatty fish with the vegetables and olive oil from the protocol maximizes benefits, creating nutritionally balanced meals that support multiple aspects of heart health simultaneously. Plant-based alternatives like algae oil can work for vegetarians, offering similar omega-3s. To further integrate, try omega-3 enriched eggs or fortified foods as backups. To expand on the protocol, each component synergizes with the others. For instance, the antioxidants in berries enhance the anti-inflammatory effects of olive oil, while nuts provide sustained energy that helps avoid blood sugar crashes. Implementing this as a meal might look like a salad with greens, berries, nuts, olive oil dressing, and grilled salmon. Simple, yet powerful. Patients often start with one meal a day following this pattern and gradually expand, finding it enjoyable and sustainable. Customizing portions to your needs ensures it fits your lifestyle without overwhelm. Begin these adjustments slowly and gradually. Give your body adequate time to adapt comfortably, then progressively increase variety and portion sizes. Your health and safety are always the top priority. Think of the heart protocol as helpful complementary support that works alongside, not in place of, your existing medical care and any prescribed treatments. Here is my personal challenge to you right now. Choose just one single component from the heart protocol, perhaps committing to eating 2 servings of fatty fish each week, or simply starting to top your vegetables with a generous drizzle of extra virgin olive oil every day, and follow through with that one change consistently for the next 30 days. Afterward, come back to this message and share your personal experience in the comments. Did you notice increased energy? Any positive shifts in blood pressure or overall sense of well being? Your real life story has the potential to inspire and uplift thousands of other older adults who are reading and watching along with you. Starting small builds powerful momentum. Consider keeping a simple journal to track changes, note improvements in energy, sleep quality, or even fewer doctor visits related to heart concerns. Sharing your progress creates motivation. I have seen supportive communities form around these kinds of challenges, where people encourage one another and exchange practical tips. This kind of interaction fosters accountability and turns individual efforts into collective success. Connecting with others provides fresh ideas, emotional support, and makes the journey feel less solitary and far more rewarding. Online forums or local groups can extend this community beyond comments, offering ongoing encouragement. To enhance engagement, setting reminders via phone apps for journal entries keeps consistency high. Expanding on community, many find that group challenges, like monthly check ins, amplify adherence. Sharing recipes or success stories builds camaraderie, making health goals feel like a shared adventure rather than a solo task. This social aspect can be particularly uplifting for seniors, combating isolation while promoting wellness. Virtual meetups or email threads can sustain momentum, providing a platform for questions and celebrations. If today's information has been helpful, eye opening, or motivating for you, please take a quick moment to subscribe so you won't miss what comes next. In the upcoming message, we will explore a single, surprisingly common nutrient deficiency that affects most seniors and quietly undermines heart health in ways that are rarely discussed. And I promise at least one detail will genuinely surprise you. Staying subscribed ensures you receive timely, evidence based updates as new research emerges. Topics like vitamin D, magnesium, or other key nutrients often connect directly to symptoms such as fatigue, irregular heartbeats, or persistent low energy. Being connected keeps you proactive and empowered in managing your wellness journey. These updates can include practical tips, new studies, or even seasonal adjustments to the protocol. For example, winter tips might focus on indoor exercises or vitamin D sources. Finally, if you have stayed with me from the very first line all the way to this closing paragraph, please type Heart Strong in the comments below. Together, we can build a warm, supportive, and empowering community of older adults who are proactively taking charge of their heart and vascular future. I'm Doctor, and I truly look forward to connecting with you again very soon. Take excellent care of yourself and make that first small, meaningful step today. Remember, every positive choice you make today contributes to a healthier tomorrow, building resilience one meal at a time. As you embark on this path, know that patience and self compassion are key. Progress may be gradual, but it's profound and lasting.